What's up, everybody? It's about 6:30. I'm still here at the school doing some after-school tutoring. Wanted to let you guys in on a little bit more about my life and kind of some things that I have going on. You know, a lot of you know that I'm married and got 3 kids. My wife doesn't work, so it was just something we've committed to, is that she's staying home, she's raising our kids, she's educating them. Yeah, I do a lot of weird, interesting side jobs, and this is kind of a little bit my journey, how I became a custodian at a church, and So yeah, I've done a lot of interesting, weird things over the years. I was a server for about 1.5 years. I was doing that, and then COVID hit and decided that's not really where I wanted to be. I was just trying to make things work, trying to figure it out. That's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel, was just, you know, I know it's not going to be anything now. I know it's nothing right now, but maybe years down the line, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, this could actually be a source of income. I'm learning a lot of things about editing. I'm learning a lot of things about creating videos and doing this, and I'm really enjoying it. It's giving me something to sink my teeth into. All right, so I'm here. It's pretty dark. Let's get inside, get to cleaning. All right, so this is like my favorite thing. Is there a faster way of doing that? I don't know, but that's the way I do it. Maybe you're into watching men clean. I don't know. Is that a thing? If it is, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. And by the way, my wife's gonna hate that joke. So the best thing about this job, though, is right here. So probably right about now you're wondering what in the world this video has to do with poetry. I haven't decided on the title, but it's probably going to be something about teaching with poetry or something like that. And you're like, okay, when's he going to get to the point? And I'm going to get there. I will. So one of the things I've really been struggling with this year is motivating my students and really getting them engaged with the lesson, engaged with the content. So if you don't know, I'm teaching world history. And all of a sudden yesterday, something clicked. And we were working on the Ottoman Empire, and I was playing this video on the Ottoman Empire, and then there was a suggested video at the end of that video, which was like, hey, listen to this Turkish folk song compiled by all these different artists remotely. We started watching it. It was just incredible, and the kids got really engaged with it because of the instrumentals. Anyway, I'll put that in the description below, and you can watch that. It's very, very cool. Some students came back today from quarantine, and the kids were like, hey, can you play that video? Can you play that song? Because they didn't get to hear it. And so sure enough, we played it, and I mean, they were really digging it. That was just a cool little side note that I thought was pretty awesome. So I guess now we can kind of get into what this whole video is about, which is teaching with poetry. So this was something I used the other day, and we were talking with my AP students about, it's been a long week. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, we were talking about the Columbian Exchange, right? So this bringing together of worlds, this synthesis or syncretism that happens between the old and the new, and what does that all mean? And we read this poem, and I'm going to kind of demo that for you guys, and reading poetry in class by Ursula K. Guin, and it's this fantastic poem called October 11th, 1491. It was a really impactful lesson really great way to just start the class and engage them. They really got into the poem, and really made me think about using these literary forms that are not typically what we think of when we think of history. Let's let the students dig in. So I've got some examples here of some of the conversation, and I apologize for the audio because we're all wearing masks. It's mandatory, but I'll try to subtitle. In a year and a day, they will be here. Do not go down to the seashore. Hide the food, the ornaments. Hide with the children in the mountains. In a year and a day, the wizards will arrive. Do not go forward to them. Give them nothing. You will see 3 ships come sailing in. Out of the east the kings will come, and the world will grow old. That morning, it will begin to die for the first time. Then you will go forward with your empty hands, timid and smiling, and give it to them. Ursula K. Guin. Something about a warning?
Yeah, so the poem's kind of written as like a warning, like the person that wrote it has already like experienced or witnessed these events already take place. Like it's saying that one day you will in a year and a day you'll experience these things, and when they do come, don't do it, like as a warning, because they've already done it and they've been through it.
I feel like it's kind of like what Antoine saying, it's a warning, but also like it uses this foreshadowing, saying like I'm telling you to do this, but you're not going to do it. What I'm warning you not to do. You're going to give it to them, and you're not going to take my advice.
So there's some like hopelessness, right? Is what you're saying. There's like a tone. So we're talking about tone, right? We're talking about themes. That it's, but you'll go forward with your empty hands, timid and smiling, and give. Right? And that last 2 lines is kind of where the heartbreak happens in this whole poem, right? Because it's like, yeah, don't go, don't do it, but you will. Right? So another cool thing that you can do, and once you've used some poetry in your room, you can then put that in the students' hands. So once they have an understanding of a topic, or if you want them to really dig into a topic more, assign them to write a poem. It could be something as simple as a haiku, or it could be something a little bit more in depth. So a lot of this is just coming back to that same theme that I really try to focus on, and if you're watching any of my videos, you're probably picking up on, is that the way I teach history is so much more holistic. That we're looking at these cultures, we're looking at traditions, we're looking at myths, there's a plug actually right there for my upcoming series on mythology. I guess if you're in the future, it might already be out, but yeah, what kind of myths would you guys like to see or talk about? We're definitely going to look at Greek, Roman, Norse. I've already got a lot of feedback on Instagram about Norse mythology, and so gonna have to include that. So anyway, that was just a little plug for that. But going back to my point, I really want history to be seen as something as a whole, not as this dry subject of dates and facts and things that happened in the past, but actually people's real life and real life concerns. But you also have to think about the opposite as well, some of the negatives and things that can come about because of this forceful narrative that can sometimes exist, especially within nationalism, that you have to believe, and then everyone has to think the same way about these certain characters or stories or national heroes. And that's something that the United States we're dealing with definitely, and I know many other countries as well. When we're talking about myth, when we're talking about poetry, we're talking about all these different things, it really can illuminate what we as historians are trying to get to, what we're trying to get our students to understand and grapple with. So I know this is a longer one, and if you stuck it out this long, I really do appreciate it. And just know that I value every viewer and every like and subscription. I kind of probably should get back to some cleaning. Still got to finish the vacuuming and mop and clean the bathrooms and all that stuff. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for joining on this little trip journey. And yeah, here's the outro. Okay, all clean and home and going to bed. So, good night.